Okay. I shouldn't have let that go up. I'm so dumb for that. Can we fire? Ever again? Kill that SCV and now I get to go ring scout those two. Not a good start at all. Might be too much, but what we're doing. God, that was loud. So I'll check that after the game. for units, I guess. Game 1. That's the build. Chisel, thanks for the gifted sub, dude. Appreciate that, man. What I don't know what channel they're in. Half win, true.
Not enough minerals. You've not enough minerals. You've not enough minerals.
Okay. I mean, I'm not a good clicker. Anyway. It fixed itself. was fun. Unfortunate.
You have not enough minerals. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. You must construct additional pylons. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Might be dead here.
You must construct additional pylons. We are under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Construct additional pylons. You must construct additional pylons. We are under attack.
There's no reason I should lose to this. I even went 3-gate before, expecting this push. Because I know he does a lot of 2 bases. Terrible time for me to supply block myself. Crazy. How much I'm just throwing away for no reason. Trogdor, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. Let's get ourselves together here. Actually, I kind of need to full wall this, to be honest. Sorry. There's a bad rally somewhere. Getting free tanks.
Upgrade complete. My life for hire. My life for hire. My life for hire.
Click my freaking Templar. There we go. We did it. Great.
Engage the enemy.
Storm drop we dreamed of. The vulture wrecked me. Hmm. Exit. I love having these Terran players on my chat. What do you guys want me to do? I'm playing Terran next CPL, okay? When I play Terran next CPL, you guys gonna leave me alone? I couldn't click more. Listen, Snow, I was still maxed. There's no point in doing more gateway cycles if I'm still maxed. I can't queue more army, alright? Yeah, I think you should have focused on Nexus as well. Silent Storm said he's going to go ahead and forfeit. I think he's really, really tired. He didn't get a whole lot of sleep. We'll say there's something about every low APM player that is good plays toss. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I play all 3 races. I've broke 1800 APM, or APM, 1800 MMR with all 3 races. For whatever that's worth. And I played random for 25 years. So, you know. I'm down to do that sometime, Exit. I did that with Love Snow the other day. Well, the other day, it was like a month or 2 ago. Yeah, Protoss is the only one I've practiced so far in ladder. I've only started ladder in November. You forget that? Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was a long time ago. A while ago. I don't remember how long ago, but bad with time. This is literally why... I know you guys are trolling me, but regardless of you guys trolling, because it is... Sometimes it gets really annoying. I'm brand new to ladder. I started in November. I played all 3 races. I practiced with Protoss, and then one day tried the other 2 races, like 2 separate days, and got to 1800. Played random on ladder, got to 1950. And it's like, I beat A-rank Protosses and stuff playing Zerg. It's not like I can only play Protoss, but it's the only one I've practiced because I just started the ladder. And I have plans to practice Terran next. No, it was macro games against us. I only play macro. You know that, Snow. Go S rank. I just haven't had a whole lot of time. Didn't say it was too hard. Huh? Yeah, no, I know you guys are harassing me. It's just... Like, I know you guys are messing, but I'm still addressing it because, unironically, I hear it every single day. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I have friends that are messing with me, but on the other side, I have a lot of people saying the exact same stuff, not messing with me. You know what I mean? Like, Protoss players in general, we hear it all the time from everybody, some of them being unironic. So the reason I'm addressing it is, while I know you guys are joking, 90% of the time I hear it from people that aren't joking. And it's all the same. Like, it sounds the same. That's all. Blame Artosis. True. But you'll never hear me say that Protoss is hard. I've never said that, right? I have specifically said I think Protoss is the easiest to learn, but playing it at the highest level is really hard. I think Terran is the hardest to learn and the hardest to play well, but the best at the highest level when played really, really well. I genuinely feel this way. And you'll often hear me say, that I know, like, I know when I'm making mistakes. Like, look at my game against Kiko that I played, like, last week or whenever we played. I played that entire game knowing that I should have lost that game because I knew I was doing everything wrong and I got to win anyway. And I know it's exclusively because I was counterattacking and going carrier, which is something only Protoss can do, and it's hard to deal with as Terran. Like, you won't hear me defend Protoss, but I'm defending myself as a player, saying that I can do all three. I intend to learn all three, and I will prove to everybody that I can learn all three. That's the plan. I don't think I can get S rank with any race other than Protoss, right? I don't think I can play the other two races as well as I can play Protoss after I've learned them, but I'm gonna try. I want to try and see where I can land. I think Zerga's best raid played perfectly, too many OP units, muted, Defiler, Ultra Low Circuit. I mean, Zerga's definitely strong at a high level too. I definitely think high rank, if you want it from my perspective, I think that S rank Zergs are way, way harder for me to beat than S rank Terrans. I've never beat an S rank Terran, but I feel like I have no chance against an S rank Zerg. We played 2 matches and then he forfeited the 3rd one. He says he's really tired. I guess that's it. I have an hour to burn here before I do my cast for the Omni League. Just know I want to duck cam. Congrats in finals. And that does mean I play X in, I think a best of 7? I think we're playing a best of 7. That'll be fun. I feel like X and I are a pretty good match too. We kind of go 50-50. 2-player maps I win, 4-player maps he wins. The next are the finalists? Yeah, we're the 2 finalists now. I'll just take my gas game over. You should cast it. I would like to have like I think we need and not that Y2 Kid doesn't do a good job, because I think he does, but we need I'd like to have people with like more casting experience. I wanted to jump in for the cast today, but I'm doing like a lot of games here in an hour and I can lose my voice really easily, so I didn't want to like overdo it. I think Exit's TVT is really good too. Love Snow, you would know if you'd play him. He asks you to play all the time. Gotta find out. You guys are funny. Dude, Snow fluctuates so much. Snow goes up to like almost 2200 and then dips back down to B rank. Why you do that, man? D&D. I can't message him. The ad.
it's just open. So if anybody just wants to join and play on.
Alright. You like Terran? I like Terran too. Unironically, people always when people ask me what my favorite race is, it's Terran. Two v one, 2v1 bloodbath. Are we trolling? No way. As Zerg? No way. Five pull kill one. But a 6 pull. I don't actually know early pull builds other than 9 pull. It's like the only one over pull. You're gonna teach me? Boy. Yeah, the mining here sucks, huh? Well, I wasn't playing for an FFA. This one's the better player. No offense. Gonna be a little bit weak for no particular reason. Just because I really believed we were 1v2 for a second. It's alright. We win from here. Well, I thought about it, but I didn't want to, like, over-focus on one person and then end up getting countered by the other. But also kind of wanted to lose a few links so I don't have to make overlords for a bit. They'll push out later. I don't know. Everything changed when they told me it was an FFA, and I was like half committed to the 6 pool, 7 pool, 6 pool. Did 6, right? Order. Yes, my second hatchery should have already been in my choke. Yeah, we're just gonna die now. I got juked. This guy tricked me. I ended up like all over the place. The second hatch should have been in my choke anyway. I was asked to 1v1, and then I was told it was going to be a 2v1, and then it was actually an FFA. Very confusing. Yeah, we'll run a little bit of ladder. Actually, yeah, let me do one ladder game, and then we'll check the time. I gotta set up my replays for the cast here. But I got 50 minutes, so. BD, I heard you're like, you're randomly picking a fight with Soviet. What's that about? What's your beef with Soviet all of a sudden? Why you gotta harass people all the time? No, not you. Talking to BD. Not everything's about you. Calm. Soviet Kingdom? There he is. Who is that Banana? Yeah, I think they're probably gonna win. I play them tomorrow. I think they'll win the whole thing personally. I think low money is like hopeless against that team, yeah. I don't even know like what we're gonna try and do.
You have not enough minerals.
What's up, Dan? I want one Marine, so I want to see him.
Upgrade complete.
I don't really like positions for this map.
Engage the enemy.
What? Can't really send it way up there. It's tough, man.
You must construct additional pylons. Instructions. You have not enough minerals.
I feel like I'm doing pretty good lately, though. Have I answered you? Saying it again. We're getting pushed, huh? We're dead. Like nothing. Oh, I have so little. How did I end up with so little for this push that I saw coming from like forever ago? Huh. We actually won this game? We shouldn't have, that's for sure. He's still suiciding against, like... I don't know what I did wrong with my macro this game, but I was like way off on how much army I should have had for that push. I don't think he knows I had a third.
You have not enough minerals. I'm waiting. There is for you. Very well. Warriors have engaged the enemy. My life for hire. My life for hire. You have not enough minerals. My life for hire.
What's his game plan, you think? Actually went to a third here, right? Okay.
Research complete. Upgrade complete. My life for hire. My life for hire. You must construct additional pylons.
I think he's thinking too. But we can probably just start hitting him over and over again. It's okay if we don't even like win a trade per se. Our eco is unbelievably far ahead. I did not expect him to drop. Expect it. I'll have to watch that one back sometime and see how I screwed up the early game so bad. Dude, look how slow I was. Holy, kind of checked out this game. Okay, let me sort out my replays. The cast starts in 30 minutes. I was really trying to find a co-caster, but I can't seem to get anybody to join me. Snow has his lady coming over, as he says it. Wolfix, I guess, has like a massive hangover and doesn't feel good. I tried messaging Saiyan, but I didn't get a response. I mean, I feel like it was a normally timed third. Let me double check. But even if it was early, that would be better than late. You know what I mean? Because I cut probes even. To prep for the push. Once I recognized it was coming, I cut probes a bit early and just kind of had the extra mining. I may have taken a little bit early, but I don't think that could hurt me at that point for the push. See though. Like I said, I cut probes to kind of make up for it as well. I only won because he handled the counterattack so poorly. Like, I'm down workers right now, huh? Fine. I guess I was cutting probes. I didn't even know I cut probes in the beginning. As like 6 minutes is pretty close to normal. Did he cut, oh, he cut SCVs at 29? Is that normal for this? Even more all in than I realized. Yeah, Azraeli got him killed. That's what I'm saying. The only reason I won was because he handled the counterattack so poorly. I'm only up 4 supply right now. 13 of it's in workers. He cut at 29. 5 fact, 29 workers. I don't think I've ever seen a cut that early. But it's weird because I saw this coming like really early, and then I cut my own workers. I think I made like a few more that I need to just cut sooner. Maybe let me see when I cut workers exactly. Would have been after the scout. Workers, blah blah blah. And I didn't think my observer timing was too late. But like, this came in. Wait, when did this come in? Watching the wrong observer. Okay, I was already in. But 34, like cutting at 34 doesn't feel good either. I mean, I have the extra mineral smoothing, so I guess maybe it's fine. So if I see he's like making 0 workers, maybe I just need to also go ahead and cut at that point because I have the better mineral smoothing. Because all I really need to do is survive. Yeah, the third doesn't need to be saturated. I'm talking about mineral smoothing. Just for, like, ideal mining. More gateways. I mean, I was waiting for money for gateways. Like, I was continuing to pump and then making gateways as I had. I'll need to talk to someone and kind of see the better response. Someone higher MMR than me. Ask, like, a Raz or something, what they think. He thinks. Because a better player doing the same push kills me, right? That's why I'm looking at this, because I shouldn't have won this game. But cutting at 42 seems fine. Like, this seems like a good time to cut. Like, that's decent mining on all 3 bases. Yeah, this is fine. This feels like this should be fine. The other option is to wait till I scout before I take my third, because then I could go to 3 3-gate, or even 4-gate, I guess. Before, I mean, but at that point, I don't even want to take a third. The thing is, I don't want to just match him, right? I don't want to match his eco and not take a third, because then if he just falls back and doesn't over push, then I'm not even ahead after he goes for this like crazy worker cut. But that doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't sound like the right thing to do. And if I, like I said, if I wait for observer, then if I wait for an observer to scout before taking my third, it's too late. I don't want to take like a 640 third or something against a 5-fact. Maybe my observer timing is like pretty far off of ideal. Like, I know it's not as fast as it could be, pretty far from it, but maybe it's further off than I think. I know Quark will do things like cutting, he'll cut range and even cut like goons early. He goes for like a really fast robo to get. So I guess this is the thing. This is the part that I'm struggling with. Getting the info, even if I got the info sooner, right? So this is the issue. Even if I got the info sooner, I don't know what the answer is, right? So I need to ask Quark or Raz or somebody that's better at breaking this kind of thing down or understanding this to try and explain to me what I should have done instead. Feel like you're not matched if you're up on probes. Cutting a CV at 29 will put them behind if you stop the push, don't you think? Well, that's what I'm saying. Cutting probes to get more units out. Or like delaying my third or something and cutting probes. I feel like going to 42 probes feels like the right amount, so I don't think I'm gonna know the. I'm not gonna be able to figure the answer out here. I need to talk to an actual S-rank Protoss that knows. The only reason, like I said, the only reason I don't lose this game is because he can't multitask. That's pretty much it. He was over 1900, so I think he just does these all-in attacks probably, and it works pretty well for him. But being up only 4 supply right now is wrong. I should not be up 4 supply while up 13 workers. So I clearly made some macro errors. I mean, we got a few tanks initially. A couple tanks, like 2 or 3. But then, like, this is all I have back home. I mean, I should have had one more cycle, but even, like, my extra cycle is late. So it would have been 4 more goons, which wouldn't have been enough still. I don't know, it would have been a lot better though. 4 more goons. If I met him here with 4 more goons, 2 zealots in the shuttle, maybe it would have been fine. Actually. Before he set up and sieged. Yeah, resetting the tank counts like game ending at this point for sure. We'll see. But he only won because of this. He loses like 5 tanks. More. I think he loses more. We've already said that, Nibbler, like a few times. We'll see. I mean, if you guys want, I can, when I get the answer, I'll let you know. I mean, at that point, the game's over now, but the initial part of the push shouldn't have gone so poorly since I had the information so early. We'll see. You will see. Give me... You guys are busy. I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit. You guys will see nothing happening, but I'm gonna organize my replays. do. Fastest. H. N. Drag like this, using if I can. Nope. Right. Looks good. Yeah, I've tried watching some of the Snow stuff recently. Like, I started finally watching some of his stuff. I think, I mean, I try to watch a lot of better players anyway. But it's more like the way I end up doing it is, I do, like... I watch people that are, like, a decent bit better than me, but not a lot better than me, until I get to, like, higher levels. That's kind of the way I've been doing it, so... I like watching, like, kind of foreigner S rank Protosses and like talking to them and asking them questions and learning things. And then once I get like an idea of certain things, like at that higher level, and I start to see the matchups a little bit differently, I understand certain like nuances and stuff, because that's kind of the difference. Like when you're a lower MMR, it's like you basically you just need to learn the basics. You need to learn macro, like some sorts of micro, build orders, that kind of thing. And then as you get older, then it's like you need to learn responses, you need to learn like how to control certain units in different ways, and like very specific ways to react to certain things that you're seeing. And then you get to like the pro level, where then it's like it gets, you know, the next level, right? And I don't think, like, if you're down at 1400 MMR watching Flash or Snow or like these people and trying to mimic what they're doing, doesn't really do you a lot of good. That's my opinion. I feel like it doesn't do you a lot of good. You need to find people that are like a few steps above you, not 100 steps above you, where you don't even understand the nuances of what they're doing yet. But I feel like I'm getting to the point where like I can watch the pros and I'm starting to see and understand like the little things that they're doing and the ways they're responding, and I can see what they're seeing that's making them react a certain way. Whereas before I wouldn't even I didn't understand enough about the game in general to even know what they're looking for, like why they're doing anything that they're doing. I think knowing why someone does something is extremely important. Not just, hey, they did that and it worked for them, I should do that too. Think. While we double check. Think. Oh wait. Oh, they're the same size. Double check. That should be. I think it's right. I think we're good. Alright guys, we got 10 minutes. What do we want to do for 10 minutes? Find a co-caster? That's what I need to do. Hail. Gonna hang out for about 10 minutes and then I'll start the cast. I totally co-cast with you because, you know, we get along so well. I feel like if we co-casted, if you co-casted with me, we would just like argue the entire time about what's good or what's bad. Who else can I ask? Oh, I'm definitely right. No doubt about it. We get Queen. I doubt it, but let's ask Queen. Her and I don't really see eye to eye either, I think. Maybe I'm the problem. God, who else is there? Anybody else? So I've asked everybody I've ever casted with. I can try asking, and I've even asked a few people, few I've never casted with, but that I feel like I'd get along with. I can try asking some other people that I've like never casted with, or even like hardly talked to. But I'm just worried about a lack of synergy, lack of comfort, you know. Alright, Snow. Thanks for actually lurking for once instead of showing up and being like, hey man, you're my favorite Remnant streamer and then immediately dipping. But I appreciate it. I know, I'm just messing with you, dude. You know me, I can't help it. Alright, I'll catch you later, man. We're both strong-headed, but working on our humility. Though you're probably more humble than me, but it's just jokes for me. I mean, I run a lot of the same jokes too, but yeah. I hear you. We are probably pretty similar in that way. Gas with blacked on. I'm gonna start asking some random people from CPL here. So the only reason I want a co-caster so bad is because last time I did like a 2-hour cast, and I completely lost my voice. And I think, I don't know how long these games are, but I should have looked. I actually should have looked. But I don't want to... Oh, I need like a different screen even, actually, for when I'm loading up replays. I don't have one set though. I do need a different overlay though. I guess after this I need to make an overlay. Have an idea. Have an idea of what I'll do for an overlay after this stream for the next one. Because yeah, I need to hide the replays instead of making dummy replays like I just did for certain series. I need to I just need an overlay because the time will show too when I click the replays. See how long it is. Avoid that obviously. You can tell I'm not used to doing this. My first pick was Wolfix, but he's not feeling well. Alright, I may just be starting solo here. It is what it is. Alright guys, looks like we're doing another solo cast today. Unfortunately, I tried getting hold of a few people. Couldn't get any help for this one either. So this is going to be the first round for the 2v2 Omni League, the group stages. And this is going to be Group B. TT1 and Banana TQ versus Geasy and Dingo. Just a quick kind of like reminder breakdown of like the format of how this these games are going to go today. It is a best of 3 on 3 different maps. So the first map they're going to play is BGH, and then the loser of that series plays their map, and then they go to the final map. And it's going to be a best of 3 on each map, like I was saying. They play all 3 maps no matter what, so even if one team wins like 2 of the maps, you still go to map 3 because we're doing it based on overall map score. You get 1 point for a map win, and then you get an additional point for winning the series. So if you win the best of 3 on a particular map, you get 3 points. Yeah, pretty much it. We got 2 groups. There's 3 teams in each group. Each team, it's a round robin for each group, and then we'll take the 2 like winning teams, the winning team from each group, and then they'll do a series at the end. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the first series here on BGH. And yeah, I'm really curious. This is kind of what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see what kind of like different strategies and stuff we're gonna be pulling out for these games. Alright, so we have Banana TQ playing Protoss top left, ET1 mid left, and their opponents. Kind of assumed. Okay, I got it right, but yeah. Their opponents. Performance, which I guess is Dingo, top right. And then Geasy here at 6 o'clock, playing Terran. So we have 3 Protosses and a Terran here. Alright, so one thing with BGH is that Terran is pretty weak in the like very, very early game. But they scale really well into the mid and late game, especially in BGH because you have like all these ridges and cliffs. They can like punish a lot of certain exos and stuff from across like the rivers. So tanks can be really, really efficient when you have map control as Terran. Mech obviously does really well against Protoss. But part of the issue is because their early game is so weak, they can get cannoned in very easily, and if cannons go down like at a choke or something here, it does mean Terran won't be able to push out until essentially siege tanks, or they can go for a big bio bust, which can be risky because if it goes up to like 5, 6, 7 cannons, then it takes a lot of bio to try and break through that. When you have 2 toss and you're against 1 toss, 1 Terran, you basically automatically lose the early game. So you kind of have to concede the very, very early game. Even if you're going bio, you can't fight. So you have like a handful of bio, and sometimes you need like stim and stuff even. And it is actually going to be bio from Geasy here. Bio obviously has a lot more potential for early game, but it's a very small window where I think it has an advantage over mech. Against double Protoss anyway. So as you saw, TT1 said that he'll go for cannon here. One thing is too, I know that TT1 and Banana both have played at least some BGH. I have played against Banana multiple times, and I think he's a very strong player even on BGH. And TT1, I haven't played him personally, but I've also been told that he's really good. Banana and TT1 are the low money team as well. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned it, Geasy and Dingo. Performance, I guess we'll call him Performance today, is fastest. So that's why they're playing on BGH. The first map will always be whatever map the like neither team came from. Kind of the mutual map. Zealot coming down 6 o'clock here. Just basically going to keep them busy, give them something to think about while we throw down a pylon and try to start up our cannons. The pylon comes down. And this pylon here is not for cannons, we're actually going 3-gate. So this pylon is purely to reduce surface area. I think the positioning's a little bit tough, we'll see how he works with it. But you kind of want pylons, you can use pylons to reduce surface area, and if you pull them past pylons then it basically reduces the opponent's surface area. While you're able to, like if you come out here and make them fight like in this smaller area here, they can't get their army here, so you end up being able to get more surface area. Oh, he's still gas, it's very interesting. There's no real reason to still gas, but yeah, sure, why not? The bio's coming up, but the cannons are actually going to finish in time, and even with just 1 cannon here... Alright, I've been clicking around too much, I apologize for that. I was going to try to stop doing that. But even with like the one cannon of the Zealots here, we can easily stop this amount of Marines here. With the Academy here, it doesn't really help you with breaking out. Going up to 3 cannons can stop a lot of bio. You pretty much have to get to siege tanks now before he can move out. But he's going to threat on his third barracks, which means he's going to try and just bio bust it. But because he's held, and while he's trying to build this up, now performance has to worry about getting doubled here. So once your teammate gets cannoned, you kind of need to drop your own forge. Because you're going to be fighting 1v2 for a while. But we went up to gas, we dropped a forge now, but it's going to be a bit too late. Whereas Banana, we're just on 3-gate production. Pretty heavy zealot in the beginning. Working our way to goon tech. But zealots get inside, they're going to clean up performances, zealots here, and then he's going to start losing workers, and I just don't see a way that he ends up holding this attack. Meanwhile, we have Geasy just continuing to work on bio. He may go for a bust here once he has stem. And yeah, this is what well, it's just one extra cannon. Okay, GG was called. That was a quick game 1 here. Going to game 2. Yeah, so it pretty much played out kind of like what I was explaining could happen with that matchup. The thing is, as the Karen, there's not a whole lot you can do about it in that situation. You just kind of need your teammate to play defensive, because once you bust out, like if you get the siege tanks and you're building a bio behind that, by the time you bust out, you can have a very, very powerful mid-game army. But it just kind of comes down to your teammate actually being able to survive. And it can be very, very tough, because like I said, they'll have to be fighting 1v2 for a while. Well, let me change my stream time. Realized I never changed it. Oh, I titled this actually. My bad, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so, game 2 on BGH. This time we have a shared choke between Geasy playing Zerg this time, instead of Darren. I think he was picking random in the fastest games as well during the qualifiers, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then performance, his teammate, spawning at 12 o'clock, meaning that they have a shared choke, can be like a very, very strong defensive position. We'll see how they decide to play it out. 3 o'clock we have TT1 on Protoss again. And at 6 o'clock we have Banana TQ also on Protoss again. Alright, so this game automatically plays very, very differently. This is a big part of BGH. Spawn locations can make a massive difference on the flow of the game. So there is no holding someone as double toss. Like usually as double toss, when you have that kind of uneven matchup, you're looking to block someone in and then double team one. It's kind of like the standard strategy. There's obviously a lot of different things you can do, but that's kind of just the standard go-to. When you're against Zerg, it's a little bit different because Zerg can go 9-pull and it does automatically give them early game control for the first few Zealots. So if you're playing like Zerg Toss, you're pretty much guaranteed to block someone in, but it does mean your 2v1 isn't as strong as it is if you can pull it off as double toss. But because we're shared choke here, it means that there is no option for blocking the teammate off and hitting the other one. So it already has to be played very, very different. One thing that I do like to see is when someone is playing shared choke, is to go for kind of an early mech here, or tech build. And already you can see Performance and Geasy kind of doing like what you would do in this kind of situations, relatively standard. So you have early Lings controlling the early game here, so that the other player can go some sort of tech. So we're going straight to Dragoons. And we're getting 2-gate out of both TT1 and Banana, so there's no immediate reaction to seeing the Dragoon tech, which makes me think they're going to try and get aggressive on it. But that is, I believe, because they didn't know that Geasy was Zerg. So we'll kind of see. Like, the Ling should be able to buy enough time as long as Performance hits his timings correctly. It should buy enough time for Performance to get his Dragoons out, and he can start cutting Zealots, or Dragoons around. But we did go one Zealot. I actually like, in this situation, skipping the Zealot and trying to get the Goon out as fast as possible, because your Lings are going to get overwhelmed relatively quickly against 2 Protosses going 2-gate. And the extra Zealot you have won't really be able to make too much of a difference. And losing 1 Ling early is pretty painful, and even a 2nd Ling. So we've lost 2 Lings completely for free here. Gonna get the probe at the cost of yet another Ling. Performance coming down with his Zealot here to help with the trade a little bit. So it does help with the very, very beginning trade here. We actually hit our own Zealot even. Like I said, like you can see the Zealot count's getting really high already. Geasy floating 450 minerals. Would like to see an extra hatchery go down. Pylon goes down, so we're actually going to look to cannon here. While TT1 is going 3-gate. Not sure if I like the cannons per se, we'll see. Once Goons come out, they can start harassing. I mean, even if cannons go up, which they should be able to go up here, the Goons can trade really, really well against just Cannon Zealot. But this is kind of the thing. But because we lost a little bit of the early game here, Zealots are going to be able to walk into Performance, and this is 100% what he wanted to avoid. So we're going to take some probe damage, and this is going to hurt our Dragoon count quite a lot, which will make it much more difficult to get inside, or get out there to kill off the cannons. So a couple probes go down here. Maybe a third. There goes 3 probes. A 4th probe. It looks like we're just going to lose 4, so not the worst that it could have been. Didn't even like pull much miners, so we didn't lose even a lot of mining time. And now with the Lings and Goons out here in tandem, they can good box from Geasy here, stopping the Zealots and making them take some extra shots from the Dragoons. TT1 does manage to dig himself out, kind of move back here. But you have 2 cannons up against the Dragoons here. You don't want to lose a Goon. Yeah, that's pretty rough. You can just kind of wait for range here, and then you can start picking off with Zealots on the outside as you like move in for cannons. Just kind of play that dancing game back and forth, getting your shots on Zealots outside of cannon range when you can. Continuing Ling production here for Geasy, and just now we're going back into drones. I do like the call to go drones here because your Lings aren't really going to help anymore in this situation, at least not for a while. You kind of need Performance to be able to dig you out of here. You don't want the cannon count to get too high. It's not too bad with the positioning it is, but if the cannons were like more out here and it kind of bottlenecks the Goons here, it becomes extremely difficult. But because it's out here a little bit, he does have a lot of this area to kind of play with here, to start sniping away at the cannons. And yeah, basically you just want to use these Goons to get any shots off on the Zealots you can on the outsides. And then, oh, the Pylon's actually out of range of the cannon, so that's pretty good. But once you basically want to play on the outside, you want to push the Zealots back like this, and then you can move in and like 2 volley a cannon back up and just kind of keep doing that dance like I was saying. Kind of see a 4th cannon comes up here. Performance having a hard time kind of getting in range. Yeah, I think he wanted to try and snipe the Pylon here. Meanwhile, we have Corsair coming out from Banana, Corsair and DT, or Citadel rather. Lair's just about to finish up for Geasy, but it's going to be a little bit. If he was waiting for Spire, it's going to be a little bit before he has anti-air. We'd actually kind of want a few Goons to come across here and just Help protect our overlords. I like that Banana left this overlord. He's going to use the second Corsair to kill it. We want to get across as fast as possible and see if we can find any extra overlords, because this is pretty much a guaranteed overlord kill. He does find this overlord coming down, which is going to supply block Geasy. And then if we're losing the second overlord, okay, we're actually sending it straight across as well. Putting up a third Corsair, so we're going to go heavy on Corsair. Meanwhile, we just have Dragoon Tech, it looks like, coming out of TT1. Robo facility here for performance. We'll see if it's going to be Reaver, and it does look like it's going to be Reaver. Defensive cannons put in place here. Evo Chamber coming down because we probably want to get some spores to help with the Corsair, but I really feel like we could have just called over a few Dragoons. Like, these Dragoons aren't even trying to break out, so I'd like to have just seen a few of our teammates' Dragoons here help us out. Otherwise, we're waiting for the spore, and we're just going to be losing overlords for free over and over again until then. Going to be heavily supply blocked here. The Corsair did go down here and find the overlord bottom right. Looks like we're going for the push now, but I think we'll back off once we see the cannons. Or maybe they want to commit still. He wants to go. Alright, so they're committing. It is only 4 Zealots coming out of Banana. Also expanding bottom left and going Corsair, so a little bit of a mismatch on builds going for this bust. TT1 was continuing army, whereas Banana was going tech and eco. But it looks like it may still be enough. We clear up the 3 cannons. There's actually absolutely no army coming out of Geasy because we've just been losing so many overlords here. And it does look like it's going to be pretty much impossible for performance to hold this push. We have 1 defensive cannon, the Reaver coming out, but I don't think this is going to be enough. First shot connects on just the Zealot here. Begins move in, target the shuttle first. I don't mind that play because we have enough army that it's fine. And fortunately, last shot does not go off. Maybe if the last shot was able to hit kind of center mass and hit all these goons, we may have actually been able to survive. DT's coming in from Banana as well behind this push. The last cannon going down, we have no detection, and there's no overlords that can possibly get here because of the Corsair in the way. Geasy calls GG, and that means that TT1 and Banana TQ win the BGH series 2-0, earning them 3 points so far. And that has pushed us to the next map, which is going to be fastest. Okay, I will be right back. I'm going to get some water. You guys like that? I don't know if y'all heard that. Was yelling over here. My life, huh? Alright. Alright, we're gonna jump into the next map here, which is gonna be fast as possible. And we'll see how things play out differently here, because this is Geasy and performance is Bingo, whatever we want to call them. This is their main map. This is their comfort zone. TT1 asking which gas I make first here, and Bug's right. I'm 100% with you, TT1. I have no freaking clue. I've had a hard time with the gases on this map as well. Alright, so top right we have Banana spawning in a Zerg, so maybe he was playing random in all these games here. And you just happen to land on Toss twice. His teammate, bottom right, TT1, playing once again as Protoss. Geasy at 6 o'clock, ending on Terran. His teammate, Performance, at the 9 o'clock position, spawning in as Protoss. A Pylon Scout coming out from TT1. And I feel like you'll see this a lot with players that aren't comfortable on the map, and they kind of don't know the meta, don't know the strategies. It feels like you kind of want to scout early because you don't know what to expect. You're not used to it. So just getting early information and trying to use like your natural game sense to understand. 430 meters, so I think Banana TQ is rushing straight meter. Seems to even have a timing in mind for how quick this is going to be, so they may have done a fair amount of practice, possibly. At least some practice on this map. Probe just harassing the SCV here. Kind of being a pain. Around does 25 damage here. Barracks is going to finish, though. Face it off. And we're going up to 3 barracks before gas here for Geasy, so it's going to be heavy bio play. Meanwhile, his teammate also going 3 gates, so it's just going to be really heavy bio and zealot play. Which is already incredibly different from the qualifiers that we casted the other day. They're just going for pure macro play. Before, when we were casting qualifiers, we were seeing like a lot of like quick cannons and blocking people in, and just really kind of annoying strategies. But yeah, just going straight up macro here. TT1 also going 3 gate. And Banana, like you said, going straight to lair here. Very, very quick muta style. Trying to get some sunkens here at the front. Map sucks. Evo, I am 100. We talked about this, right? I'm 100% with you. Not the biggest fan. TT1 trying to drop down pylons. I feel like this is very, very ambitious because your teammate is rushing for muta, and you're going to try and box in an opponent with your cannons here. It's kind of like the BGH strategy, except that we're trying to do it when our Zerg is going tech. So what's going to end up happening while we're fighting this here, we're going to have these zealots come in and just kind of clean up the cannons. And while we were getting decent trades against the bio, and would have got the cannons up, it is still 1v2 on the map, so it's a very, very, I would say almost impossible situation to pull this off unless your opponents just aren't making units. Still trying to drop photon cannons while the army is here in his face. We have 2 lings coming down, a few more extra coming from Banana. But it's going to be a little bit late. We're going straight to Spire here. Up the Spire here, I assume. Yep. But is TT1 going to be okay at home is the question. The supply block now after losing that. Bunker's going to go up and block TT1 in. They're actually not going to push across. They're dropping just as pylons here. No fear. No cannons. We're not afraid. Defensive cannon here is going to stop these lings from getting any damage done. And it's going to be the follow-up. It's going to be another barracks here. And the academy. So we're going to stay on 1 barracks. The Spire Rush could do some damage if we don't get extra cannons coming out of performance here. Bio's going to come down. Now the cannons are coming up. But we have 5 zealots versus a good chunk of bio and way, way more zealots here. Just 8 zealots versus our 5. 3 more zealots on the way. Yeah, the cannons are not going to be able to finish in time, so TT1 losing all of his zealots here. And once this front is busted, our main base is just wide open. Looking pretty dire here for TT1, continuing to drop cannons while we're losing our front. But they're just going to chew through this. GG is called by TT1, and that's it. Over. Alright, quick game 1 here on fastest. Like I said, I was very surprised Geasy and Performance went for just pure macro here. Very, very different, like I said, from the qualifiers. We'll be going into game 2. Pretty quick series overall so far. Surprisingly so. The fastest games can take the longest. So far, yeah, going pretty quick. Alright, Banana, this time, top left, landing as the Terran race. We'll see what he goes for here, if he just goes for bio or some sort of tech. His teammate very close by the 12 o'clock position, TT1, spawning in as Protoss. Bottom right, PG Easy, playing as Protoss this time instead of Terran, and his teammate Performance, also Protoss. So 3 Protosses, 1 Terran. Like I said, Banana and TT1 are very close spawns this time, so they should be able to protect each other much easier. See if there's like any crazy attempt at tech again from Banana or TT1, or if we just want to play standard macro this time since last game we kind of got run over by basic units. Sorry. Alright, so it is going to be bio play from Banana. We got 2 barracks coming down, 2 gateways here. It's going to be triple gate coming down for Geasy. Imagine a 3rd gate for TT1 soon. Be opting for the 2nd pylon. And this kind of stuff happens from just being a lower money player, where you don't normally have 3 gates before you would start your 2nd pylon. Like on BGH, on Fighting Spirit, this is not like actually viable. But because your income is so much faster on fast as possible, you can easily drop your 3 gates and get your 2nd pylon before you would need use of it. I believe anyway. At least it's very close that it would be okay. Performance looks like we are going to go for Goon Tech here. Relatively quick assimilator after the 3 gate. So we might be a little bit light on the Zealot production compared to some of the other players, but we are going to have Goon Tech a little bit quicker here. Goons can obviously be very strong here. Turn Academy coming down as our geyser finishes up. Timing. 4th gate coming from Geasy, no gas, so it's going to be heavy Zealot play from Geasy. Performance ringing in for the Zealot, and this can be a very strong strategy on this map because workers do sit still the entire time. They can be very easy targets, and even trying to pull probes off can be a little bit of a pain. They do tend to get stuck on each other when they're coming loose, so they can still get hit while they're trying to get away. And see, as you can see, very quick, easy 1 kill. Circle around to the other side. Another kill here, and while this is going on, we're also fighting here, so there's a little bit of multitasking being taxed here. And see, this is what can happen. So when you pull like a bunch of probes like this to try and drill, they do take a moment to get their mining back to being optimal. Some of them will like kind of double mine on top of each other on the same patch, and it takes them a little bit. We're having to pull off here again completely as 3 Zealots come in. More Zealots coming in, so TT1 just being pulled apart here a little bit with the Zealots running everywhere. Losing a fair amount of probes, we're down to 15 probes right now. 14. Gotta drill here and lose another one. Go back to mining. Another probe goes down, so we're down to 13 probes now for TT1. So his macro is not going to be able to keep up. Meanwhile, Banana, we're fighting here in mid with our bio. Medics are showing up now. And Stim is finished, so Banana can actually trade really well here. Meanwhile, we have the Robo facility coming down, so it's not going to be Goon Tech. I was wrong about that. It's going to be Robo and just more Zealots. Citadel coming down. We do have a pretty strong push coming here from TT1 and Banana. And no cannons here for Geasy, just all Zealot production here. So if they can coordinate their push, it can be very powerful here right now. If only they knew the meta. Which one? You mean Banana and TT1? Like with the probe harass and stuff? Stemming in here, we do have a vulnerable mineral line here. If a fireback gets on that mineral line, and we are going for it, unfortunately we ran into 3 Zealots there. 4 Zealots off to the side, so we're going to circle this firebat around. But yeah, as you can imagine, If a fire bat gets onto the mineral line, it can just immediately kill all of the probes if you're not careful. But Geasy doing a good job bringing a few probes out to body block to protect the bulk of his mineral line here. We got a little bit of eco damage. We're down to 22 probes, still ahead of TT1. Bunch of cannons coming down, but we are getting another 2 probes here. Yeah, second probe goes down, a third probe goes down. So Banana did a good job of picking up a few extra probes here for the remainder of this tiny army. Just those 3 Marines killed another 6-7 probes. So with that, TT1 actually a little bit ahead of Geasy on economy. Cleaned up a couple gateways as well, gonna slow his macro down. All in all, this felt like a really, really good trade for Banana and TT1. So what ends up being important here is what is happening in the meantime, right? In the meantime, we have DT coming out, as well as Reaver and Zealots. Reaver and Storm Drops, as some of you guys may know, is kind of the like, it is the big like play-making thing for Fascist, right? I can't think of how to word it, but you know what I mean. Like, you get a Storm off, you get like one Reaver Scarab, you can kill an entire economy with just in the blink of an eye. Zealots, 2 Zealots come down, Reaver comes out. Reaver actually shoots the turret first. Pretty good connection there. I didn't see how many probes or SCVs we had before. Not that shot, but yeah, we're taking a pretty good bit of damage because not only are we losing a fair amount of units, we're losing SCVs, we're also not mining. And on Fastest, every second that you're not mining is a huge amount of income loss. Oh, and while this is happening, we actually have the DT sneak in. Because we had no units here at the front with our turret. We do have 2 scans, but they're going to jump immediately on the scanner. We'll want to see at least a scan right before it dies, and there it is. Additional turret comes down. So that's why we were targeting the turret with the scarabs there, was because we had our DT running in. Not quite going to get these 2 DT. Turret is going to finish here, though. Kind of zone them off a little bit, but the second turret, which is the more important turret, actually in range, is going to get targeted. Meanwhile, we have a counterattack going on here, but we do have defensive DTs and just no detection. We're going to kill a fair amount of probes, it looks like, at least a few. TT1 actually falling behind on the worker count, because we're on triple Nexus here from Geasy. So 3 times the probe production as TT1 there. Looks like we were able to clean this up, possibly pulled it over to the other turret here. Or maybe the scanner wasn't rebuilt, we're at 50 MP. Storm drop does get stopped, so that was really good by Banana, so we managed to stop the storm drop without taking any extra damage. We may be able to stabilize here. Both of their ecos though, Banana and TT1, are both behind Geasy and Go. Tech-wise from Geasy though, we're a little light on the tech. We're just sitting here on 1 gas. And the gas mining, anytime I see the gas mining on this game, on this map, drives me insane. Looks like the play from TT1 is just going to be pure macro. We're going to drop the observatory so we can get servers out. Meanwhile, we got a 4 DT drop coming in, but we have 5 cannons here, so this won't be able to do anything. Yeah, I was going to say, we could possibly drop out here, start sniping some of the outside gateways. There's us for a scan, and we get the scan, forcing the DT to turn and fight here, so we're going to clean up all 4 DT without losing really anything. That's pretty good. And I'm pushing through mid here. I've got a lot of cannons set up, picking off a lot of bio. Just kind of didn't expect this random assortment of cannons to be here. Looks like we don't have goon range yet, yeah. So Goon's taking a really bad trade there without the goon range. And then we back up after losing a bunch of army to the cannons as Geasy and Performance come in with their Swallow Zealots here. Looks like the Banana and TT1 will be able to clear this army. We did lose one of the tanks. And there is a DT in here as well. Do we have an observer? Here it comes. Sleeping on the job, but just for a few seconds it looked like, so not too bad. And you see a lot of this as well, just because income is so high on Fastest, you'll see just extra cannons thrown down, even against siege tanks, just to buy time. TT1 understanding that they kind of need to hurry. If you look at the economy, Geasy's up to 74 probes. That extra Nexus production kicking in pretty heavy right now. So it'll only be a few moments before his macro starts really popping off. So as we're slow pushing here, they're going to be distracted here, and we have a big storm drop coming in here. Essentially big storm drop coming in here. TT1 is a bit distracted, and I'll go ahead and say, as a non-fastest player, it becomes very difficult to kind of see this coming just because you're not used to it. There it is, the storm on the mineral line, and just like that, 20 probes go down. TT1 down to 16 probes. Got 16 versus the 83 and 66 of the other two Protoss players. That being said, we do have a very large army pushing down middle here, just kind of busting this through. We're even building cannons down into 6 o'clock. Follow-up storm drop is headed to 12 o'clock while this is happening. So Banana and TT1, they're going to need to get a lot of damage done here. Shuttle gets picked off there, maybe more of a distraction, make him feel a little bit safe. Because TT1 did see the shuttle. Hey, what's up, Petri? What's up, Petri? Pushing through here. Got some DTs on the flanks. Looks like sounds like a scan did go down, but I guess not here. Okay, we got the observer here. Follow-up drop comes down. It's an okay pull. It is a pull. We just don't have any workers to storm in the first place. And while we are trading pretty efficiently here, TT1's economy is just kind of in shambles. And Banana's also not really that good. I don't know if he took extra damage, or maybe we just have him into on top of the SCV production while we're fighting here. I don't know. An extra, okay, there's a starport. Kind of don't really need the production tab. I don't know if you guys watch that or not, but I'm just going to keep that down, I think, 'cause I don't really pay attention to it. Yeah, trading really, really efficiently. Another Swelligoons coming in here to protect. But the economy from Geasy is going to be kicking in now. We just don't have quite enough gateways. We're keyed up 4 or 5 units in some of these gateways. Just continue to build cannons backwards to buy as much time as possible. The Corsair and Shuttle combo. You'll see this a lot on fastest as well. You do this because it means the Corsair will tank the shots from the turrets or cannons or any other units that can shoot air before they would target the shuttle naturally. Looks like we did clean up all the tanks. I'm kind of sorry I looked away from that. I assume we had a couple storms go down, possibly. There's just that many zealots. The goons may have pulled back. Storm drop comes down. Another 10 kills here on the workers. Banana down to 32 again. And you kind of just see the Banana and TT1 mostly just struggling with economy. Very strong armies, very powerful pushes that are trading really, really well. They just don't have the economy behind it to back up these pushes. To keep it going. TT1 thinking maybe of changing targets, and if you look at this, performance has just this massive swell of gateways here. It's just going to be pumping army non-stop, up to 96 probes. Geasy at 109 probes. And both players maxed. The combined supply of Banana and TT1 not quite reaching either player on Geasy's team. So with that being said, it seems like this is going to be a near impossible hold. Just tons of zealots coming in. Gonna have some storms coming down, possibly on top of these dragoons here. But even then, it's not even needed. Yeah, 100 probes, it seems too high, right? Is there even 100 stacks of minerals? I thought it only went to 50. But yeah, Geasy having more probes than supply for both Banana and TT1. Well, both players even. So it looks like we're going to hold this first wave possibly up here, while the cannons and dragoons playing defensively, but it just doesn't seem like we can keep up with this level of macro coming out of these players. Geasy even slipping some extra gateways here at 6 o'clock. Looks like another storm may have gone down, or maybe we just missed the Templar. Still at 33 workers, so I don't think it was a storm drop. May have just been one left over from earlier. Yeah, and Banana and TT1 just pushed back inside their bases, and it just feels like this swell of units is never going to stop. We're even building probes instead of TT1's base because I guess we don't have detection, and we don't need detection. We don't need mobile detection. Cannons are our mobile detection. Here comes another drop while all this is happening. Templar comes out, Templar storms. Maybe misses a little bit on the side, but still kills 17 workers, and it feels like the writing's on the wall here, and I don't see how they ever push them back and make a comeback from here. I mean, Banana kind of holding, sort of, but I wouldn't say stabilizing. I mean, we're kind of dead. We're at 20 workers. Supply down to 100 total between the teams. GG is called. So, what am I gonna 1v1 Flash now that he's back? We're gonna go with Never. What's up, Donnie? Alright, so we have so far Banana and TT1 taking 2-0 on BGH, the mutual map, but Geasy and Dingo / Performance, whatever we want to call them, taking the 2-0 back on their own map. And now we're going to move to Banana and TT1's main map, which is Fighting Spirit. Alright. Let's see how the fastest players do on Fighting Spirit. I will say, the way they played BGH, like, was relatively normal, right? But, there's a big gap, like, going from, this is gonna be easy. It's kind of the thing about the tournament, right? Is it's interesting to see if some of the other teams will be able to take games off of, like, the other team's main map, right? But it's kind of expected. It's expected that one team wins their main map, the other team wins their main map, and then the mutual map is kind of going to be the deciding factor overall. What it comes down to as far as like who's going to qualify in the end is who can win those maps that the other player is a part of, right? Or who can win those mutual maps. When they did StarCraft 2, StarCraft 1. I think I did watch that, but that was a while ago, right? I do think the series is going to be pretty tough for Geasy. I think Banana and TT1 on Fighting Spirit might be close to untouchable. But we'll see if anybody in this tournament can prove me wrong. Probably should have taken a short break. Maybe after this game. Alright. Banana TQ spawning top right. As Zerg. His teammate bottom right playing Protoss. Seems like TT1 is playing Protoss. Like they're playing in 24 turn rate. Banana may just be running random every single game, it looks like. And I respect that. Top left we have Performance. Coming in as Protoss. And his teammate Geasy also has Protoss. So 2 Protoss versus Protoss Zerg. In my experience, Zerg Protoss is a very powerful combo on low money. You'll typically see 9 pull or overpull. We'll see if he goes for overpull here, or if I'm just completely wrong. And then Toss can kind of do a build depending on the races, right? But typically with a Zerg teammate, it is going to be overpull. I feel like you can just... I'm not 100% on this, because I'm not a 2v2 non-money player, low money. But I feel like Goons probably is pretty standard. Goons with Lings feels normal and strong to me. Maybe the difference being that if you're against a Zerg, maybe you would mix in like an extra Zealot or two. Yeah, so here gas is going to come down, so it looks like I am a little bit correct about this. That's good. Yeah, this to me just makes sense. I feel like logically, Ling Goon just feels really, really strong. Ling's going to have the early game map control, and with this big, like, wide open area, like Fighting Spirit especially feels pretty good to me, I feel like, as a Zerg player. A lot of movement, a lot of room for movement, for picking off Zealots, get a lot of extra time to kind of build and react to units coming across the map, counterattacks, that kind of thing. Manor Pylon comes down, we'll see if Geasy kind of knows response here. It looks like we don't. We just kind of accepted that we have 2 probes trapped. So what you would do here normally, when you get Manor Pylon like this, you have your probes attack. Or you can hit stop and try to move them out and juggle them out. If one ends up trapped on the inside, you just attack the pylon the entire time, because it can't do anything else anyway, right? So you just attack the pylon, put some damage on it. You want your Zealot on this pylon. We're taking a ton of eco damage from this. And Geasy just kind of not reacting, maybe not even noticing that this is here. But this makes a huge difference. This is a low money income, low money map. So we're in a lot of pain here. He might be worried about getting hit and didn't want to bring his Zealots back, but it seems like he's not even noticed. Things in the meantime, and go up to top left. We're not going to be able to get there. The ramp is blocked here. But we have 2 gate, no gas. And Dragoon tech coming down soon for TT1. Geasy pushing across here, kind of on his own. Yeah, he doesn't notice this pylon, I think. The amount of income we've lost is insane, because not only is it 2 probes aren't mining, but the ones that want to mine this patch have to go all the way around. Yeah, Geasy pushing out by himself here. You can tell we're not comfortable. So he's going to get double teamed here. And then Performance in the meantime looks like he's going for a counterattack, and it's just used. So we got enough damage on these Zealots that TT1 can defend himself, and then our Lings are coming back home in the meantime. Lair is finished. Pre-colony coming down just in case. Gonna be 4 Zealots. Sunken starting probably pretty soon, but maybe not even needed. Well, with him holding the ramp, it's a little bit of a pain, but he kind of came to the bottom of the ramp, so we got to trade a little bit better than we needed to, or could have. The Sunken coming up, we can kind of ignore these, except we might want to be making more Lings to come down, right? So maybe he goes for a flank at some point, try and finish them off. But Spire's going to start. No more Lings are going to be starting, so this is fine. And Dragoons are out, and they're going to start chasing Zealots around. We're just now starting gas for Performance. I don't know if I guess he maybe spotted. He must have spotted the lair building earlier, so he knows that there's going to be a potential probe muta. Muta coming out soon. For his probe line. So here, Dragoons are just going to be microing, and getting off a bunch of extra hits here. Geasy just kind of right-clicked on this. Yeah, Dragoon having to pull away, taking a lot of extra fire here. Zealot's getting cleaned up here by Lings, the ones that kind of move off the ramp a little bit. Yeah, just some discomfort. You can see there's a lot of discomfort here. And it is, like I said, Banana and TT1 are absolute monsters on Fighting Spirit. This is their comfort zone. It looks like the cannon's gonna be what kills the pylon of all things. That's very interesting. I don't know, I'd like to know if he just didn't notice it, or if he just honestly like completely went blank and didn't know how to deal with it. 6-minute Manor Pylon. And it can happen, like, if you're... Because I know this, like, it happens to me when they come out with new maps and I don't know the map. I've never played it before, I will often freeze up too, and I'll do like really simple things, so I get it. Zealot's here tanking for these goons a bit. Gonna move up and kill this cannon. Two more cannons coming up. We do have the Overlord spotting the high ground at least. A lot of missed shots going on, but we managed to get the second cannon here. Kind of just 4 Dragoons though, so might be a little bit hard to push up the ramp, but we're getting, because of the vision from this Overlord, we're getting all these extra shots on these Zealots. Now these Zealots going down, we can possibly move up the ramp and kill it, but we're just going to take the trade and back off. I think that's fun. Another 4 Dragoons coming here. Geasy still on just 2 gate. Cyber Core is coming down now. Got a Ford cannon going down, possibly looking to expand. Ooh, that didn't look like a cannon, so it looks like we lost that cannon, so that hurts a bit. And the Muta and Ling's gonna dive on this, and this just allows him to kind of get zone control over here to make sure he doesn't get an expansion up and running. Kind of down here picking away at units. TT1 said just to hold until the chat history, until he gets his DTL. I guess just to maintain that Geasy doesn't get his Expo. Behind that, we can definitely safely take our Nexus right now. We've had really good trades all across the map. Geasy pushed inside his base without any anti-air yet. So we can take this and we don't have to really worry about anything bothering this Expo. Six mutas, 7 mutas. He thought of diving on top of this cannon, may not have noticed this cannon down here. You for this. You? Oh, wasn't you? Hang on. W. Oh, QW. Sorry, it's turned up the speed a bunch. I'm a pro observer, by the way. Okay, we got it now. Oh yeah, looks like we picked off a few probes there. Kind of 16 probes. Pick off a lot of probes? Maybe we picked off a lot more than I realized while I was playing around with that. Even building cannons down here at the ramp, and then just getting down this ramp becomes an absolute nightmare. I would say impossible at this point. And he can just full commit to this. He's got his Expo up and running. We're up to 31 workers. Performance actually has a pretty good worker count as well, but does need to expand. Oversaturated here a bit, so maybe a little bit of extra probes, which is fine if you're able to take an expansion. Overmaking probes is always good when you're able to take Expos and transfer. So both Banana and TT1 getting to expand here. We're just continuing to just chip away at these probes as we have a Corsair on the way, but we're down to 9 probes now. Unfortunately, this cannon here not really helping to protect the mineral line very well. So that Banana can back off. Happy to be a Zerg with more workers than a Protoss. Can't go wrong with that. That Geasy and performance pretty much is both contained. Geasy can try to move out, but we still don't have... Well, we got 2 Corsair, but this is a fair amount of Muta. These Muta can fight this as long as we don't clump too hard. And even then, I guess it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Not even losing a single Muta, looked like. Looking to kind of double team this bust to try and break out performance, but this is a lot of cannons, a lot of goons, and Muta coming to back it up, and GG is going to be called. Game 1 goes to Banana and TT1. Okay. Give me just one moment. A little bit of water for a minute. Alright, we're going to go into game 2 on Fighting Spirit. This is game 6 of the series so far. Alright, this time Banana, spawning in as Protoss instead of Zerg. I got the best race, he says. Hard agree. I personally feel like double Protoss can be a little bit weak. I don't know if that's actually true or not, just in my experience it doesn't feel like super strong. But who knows, maybe we'll be shown something I wouldn't expect. For me, the hard part when I think of double toss is how to tech, right? Because it feels like Zealots, if you're against Terran, Zealots feel very weak against the Vultures, obviously. But going Dragoon feels bad because of Zerg, going Lings. And then you also have like Muta and stuff coming in behind the Lings, and yeah. I'm curious to see how they play it out. See if they can maybe show me something. Show me some like some double toss options here. Geasy this time instead of toss is actually spawning as Zerg. Top right here. Looks like we're going for 9 pull. Standard. Part. And then his teammate Performance Blue Protoss. Up in his gateway here. We're first going to scout the Zerg, which feels really good for their team because I'm pretty sure Geasy is playing random. So they'll quickly identify what the random race is here. Attacking with... Oof. This is a little bit painful. We attacked with 5 drones on the probe, hoping to get a little bit lucky and get the snipe, and then unfortunately it looks like we may have double-clicked or control-clicked on accident, and all our workers to one patch, had to resplit. So a fair amount of damage there. It's going to be 2-gate coming out of Performance instead of Dragoons. This pylon placement is actually not that bad, so it doesn't really mess with your mining too much. But it is an anti-manner pylon, right? So this pylon makes it where they can't drop a pylon here or pylon here to try and block your probes in. It does mean that they can still drop it here, but yeah, this is an anti-manner pylon. See here. Probe never left after taking that damage. Fine. Things are going to be hatching here now. Speed has started. Hold alpha gas, so we're just going to be mostly on Ling for a while. Fine. Looks like both Protoss is going 2-gate. And they can actually comfortably do this because they saw that blue is also going 2-gate Zealot. The concern would be if he was going Dragoon, but because he's going Zealot, they can both just go heavy Ling. I think Banana may have even confirmed the drones coming off of the gas, so they know there won't be Mutatech for a while. Zealot moving top right, maybe hoping to catch the Lings across the map while he moved in, but not gonna happen. Does get into this really good position where so he can trade like pretty efficiently. Actually good micro by Geasy, pulling back the weakened lane, only losing 2 Lings instead of the 3 that he would have lost if he didn't micro. The gas came down from TT1 and a gas still. You can do this because he's going to have 4 Zealots out, and he's going to be pretty safe on this ramp. Especially since he saw there were 3 Zealots on this. Cult typing, so Zealot gets around, he loses 1 Zealot. It would have been nice to see Geasy, instead of trying to jump on the Zealot, running into the base, because Lings in the base can be a serious problem. Even had the Sunken coming down in case of a counterattack. We're dropping the expansion here. Defensive cannons coming down here for Banana. And looks like we might be looking to take a very early expansion. Here come the Lings, possibly looking to make it up the ramp. We're going to be able to block the ramp off in time. Maybe get a jump on the cannon, but not overly important. We do have a lot of zealots coming in. Don't want to waste too many lings before the zealots get here, though. You want to be able to trade with the zealots. But we're going to trade all of our lings off and not quite kill the cannon. It does allow blue to come in after the fact and at least clean up this position, but this was not that good of a trade. Maybe if he had initially jumped on the cannon, but yeah, just a little bit unfortunate. Pushing up this ramp's going to be pretty hard. Actually, that's pretty good surface area. I had 4 zealots attacking at one point, but Banana just getting better surface area now. 2 extra zealots come in, we got the cannon halfway done. And while we're pushing, yellow kind of was testing the other side of the map, but not going to be able to get up that ramp either. Now moving up with these zealots, but there's 4 zealots left over, 2 of these zealots very, very weak. Banana's pro production looking pretty good. Performance has been very good about his worker production these games, so I will give him that. A lot of times you see, like, when people are uncomfortable on the maps, they typically don't make enough workers. Performance has done a good job of making, like, good worker production no matter which map he's playing on. But yeah, it's funny how that ends up happening. Usually you'll see, like, fastest players or BGH players will undermake workers on low money because in their head they don't need as many workers because there's not as many mineral patches. And then ironically, low money people will be like, well, there's so many minerals here, I don't need a ton of workers. Like, look at these stacked workers on fastest stacked minerals, right? Laid back taps, thanks for the follow, man. Okay, thought. So the zealots here, just kind of trading off. I think they may have killed a drone or two. I kind of wasn't paying attention, but we did get 2 sunkens out of it, which is still decent damage. Gonna trade out against the lings here. Geasy still on 8 workers here. TT1 goon production has started. We got the shuttle and a Reaver on the way. We have no lair from Geasy, so Reaver can be very, very strong in this situation. And I'm managing to get his expansion up and running here soon. It's coming up. Hey! Erniak, thanks for the raid, dude. How do you say it? Erniak? How we're saying it. Aaron. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, a lot of Zealot coming out of performance here. Just starting our Goon tech for the first time. But we're taking our own Nexus, which is pretty decent. TT1 still on 1 base, but the Reavers are going to be pretty tough to deal with. Hydroden actually coming down from Geasy instead of Muta. Which is a little bit unlucky because we're dealing with Reaver from TT1. Got an Archives coming down for Banana as well. And their drone count general is a little bit low, but we've resumed like pretty decent drone production here. Hey, what's up, Y2 Kid? Hey, Banana, thanks for the follow, man. I was actually gonna see if I could get you to co-cast, but this is the last game or 2 here of the series. I lose my voice very easily, so... Now we're champion. Yeah, I knew you were on CSL. You promised me you would lose quickly. You lied to me. Alright, so Banana, pretty good worker count. Strong, natural up and running. We get our extra gateways coming down now. We're up to 10 bar tech, which is very good. TT1 going to be pushing out off of 1 base. Low worker count, but that's because we're on 1 base still. So we're going to be Reaver pushing this, and we're only on 4 Dragoons now. Going to be a pretty tough situation. Goon range at least is going to finish in time. Queuing up 2 more Zealots, which is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get on top of this Reaver with just the 4 Dragoons, but we'll see how he does here. Does manage to move forward, get 1 volley off from the shuttle, 2nd volley, finishes the shuttle, but I mean, actually not too bad. All in all, I don't know if it's enough though. I mean, there's a lot of goons here. We don't have a whole lot to go with these cannons to soak damage. DT coming down as well too. It could have gone better, could have gone worse, but That was close to as good as I would have expected, and with the extra zealots coming in for Banana, it looks like we're going to break this position. And once we lose this expansion, we're so far behind on eco with Banana's 42 probes in expansion here. It seems like it's going to be hard to come back. And we're on Hydra Tech, we got DT here kind of intercepting the Hydra in the meantime. Nexus goes down, and we don't need to push up this ramp, right? We accept killing this base, and we don't need to waste army, we just go back to doing map control. PT1 can probably move out to expand now if they'd like to. Give me a moment, Sammy, I'll get back to you on that one. But currently, no, the qualifiers are closed for now, for this tournament. And if we end up doing another one, I'll probably make a bunch of posts about it and try to advertise it a bit better. I guess I won't get back to you on that one, I'll answer you now. So now we have the Templar tech coming out. We have 3 storms, it looks like, available. And this position looks like this is going to be broken. We don't have lurkers even. And with 3 storms and a bunch of goons and a bunch of zealots, this is going to be a near impossible hold. And we're not going to be able to get any help from TT1, or performance rather. First storm at least doesn't hit too much, but I mean this is just so much army, right? We're just too far behind in supply. Second storm on the zealots was fantastic. Third storm's a good storm, we killed the Hydras, a couple drones there. Now we're gonna break this position. We can actually push up this ramp if we want to. But the zealots and dragoons are gonna come up behind and kill a couple Templar. This is not nearly enough army, even with this extra coming in. And GG is called from easy. And it looks like that's gonna be it. TT1 and Banana taking Fighting Spirit, kind of as expected, but I will say Geasy and performance actually didn't look that bad in these games on Fighting Spirit. So just to recap, first series on BGH, Banana and TT1 did take it 2-0, earning them 3 points for their map score. Game 2, or Series 2 I guess on fastest, Geasy and performance in their comfort zone. Really just kind of out-macroed them both games, honestly. No tricky play really, nothing too fancy, just really heavy macro and storm drops. Good old storm drops on fastest. And winning that series also 2-0. Earning them 3 points as well. Then we moved to Fighting Sphere with Banana and TT1 taking it. I wouldn't say a quick 2-0. I do think Fighting Spirit can be a little bit hard to end quickly because of the ramps, but it was a pretty controlling series. So all in all, they earned themselves 6 points today. Pretty good. So I was supposed to do another cast tomorrow. I don't know. Let me see if we even have games. We've had a little bit of issue with the scheduling because one of the teams that was supposed to play last week, they have one player in Germany, one player in the States, and then the other team is in China. So they're kind of evenly spread across the planet, and it's been very, very difficult to find a time that they can play together. Yeah, scheduling's a nightmare. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure if I will be casting tomorrow, because we still haven't been able to get them to play their games yet. So there might not be a cast tomorrow. I might have to do it sometime in the middle of the week or something. Tomorrow I am playing my match against Banana and TT1, so I think that'll be a lot of fun. So you guys can look forward to that. Yeah, tomorrow afternoon I'm playing against Banana and TT1 with my teammate Soviet Kingdom. I won't be streaming it because I'm going to be casting the replays, or maybe find someone to cast the replays since casting my own games is a little bit awkward. Or at least get some co-casters, hopefully. But as you can hear, clearing my throat a bunch. This is what happens. I lose my voice very quickly, very easily. But we managed to get through this. Luckily, they were pretty quick games all around. There was no, like, crazy long hour-long games or anything on fastest, which is always my fear. But I think that's gonna do it for me today. I know Ernie like just hosted me, but my voice is gone. We finished. So I can throw it over to Jiraiya. Actually pretty good since you know, he's a 2v2 player, 2v2 streamer. We're doing 2v2s. Perfect. Alright guys, yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow one way or another. Like I said, might not be doing a cast, I don't know for sure yet, we'll find out. But I will do my own matches, and then after that I'll probably stream maybe some ladder, maybe some BGH, we'll see what I'm in the mood for. But yeah, thanks for hanging out guys, I appreciate it. Sounds good, laid back, appreciate that man. Yeah, thanks kid. Hopefully I perform against Exit as well. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's a best of 7, right? Exit and I go pretty even too. I think it's going to be a really good series. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Alright, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good evening. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace. Sounds good, dude. Alright, bye guys.